and I'm joined by my co-host, Dr. Jose Luis Ruiz, who is an author, dentist, director, and founder of both the Mexican American Cultural Education Foundation as well as Dr. Reese Productions. Dr. Reese, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I'm very, very excited with today's podcast. Today we have somebody that I admire a great deal because he's such a talented writer, um, director, writer, producer. So Alex Avila and professor as well. So my gosh, everything. He does amazing things. First of all, he's a professor at Texas State, and he teaches a number of classes and filmmaking and a variety of subjects over there. Of course, he's already done few features under his belt, so he's not a newbie, and we want to know a lot about because he has a lot of experiences to tell us, and I think that our audience, who are many are filmmakers, and of course many are film lovers, want to know some of these things because we want to learn from him. We want to learn from his experience, and of course we want to know a lot about this film, because it is a pretty cool film. Also with us today we have actress Lucero Garcia, and Lucero is a young actress, but already with several years of experience. And then of course we have Hector, and Hector Uribe is an actor with also lots of experience. He's done a bunch of different things, including No Country for Old Men, which is, as we all know, is a major Hollywood film. Let's hear from the writer. First of all, I mean, Alex is a talent. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I think so. I'm saying it because the experts will say that. Mr. Avila just won the San Antonio Film Festival for best screenplay for his next film, and currently a screenplay called AI Dad, and I know we're gonna see that in the screen. And
I hope so. Yeah.
I know he worked. Alex is part of the and continues to be part of the mentorship program that is organized by the Mexican American Cultural Education Foundation, and he worked very closely with Jesus Trevino, who is, my gosh, he's so talented, and Jesus cannot, Alex. I can tell you this. I don't know if Jesus is watching, but he kept telling me, Alex is so talented. I don't even know how to help him. Literally, he told me that more than once. He says, he's just
But
he's
he was a
different.
great
He's a
help. He
neat
was a
help.
great help as a writer. You have these things in your head how you want things to come out, and it doesn't always come across in paper. And so, I've always found that somebody who's engaged and can give you that constructive feedback to be really, really helpful. Early on, I had another person that helped me, Nancy de los Santos Reza. Nancy D saw an early version of the screenplay, and I'm an academic and a journalist, so before I write, I do my research. So I did
Mm.
all this research, right? And when you do all that research, part of you wants to put it into the screenplay that you've been working on. And Nancy D was like, dude, you can't put in all this technical medical things. You're gonna lose your audience. So she was helpful in that regard. And then working with such an experienced talent like Jesus Trevino on the story, and he would have some great feedback, and then there were a couple of times we had some back and forth and pushback on the story, and but then we talk it out,
Yeah.
and to have that opportunity through the Master Filmmakers program through MESA was awesome to get that access. And then back in April, we pretty much decided it was polished enough. And like the next day, I got an email from the San Antonio Film Festival. It's like last day to apply. So last minute, I put in the application of the screenplay, and lo and behold,
And
we
you won.
winning. Yeah.
Congrats, man. Congratulations. And now tell us a little bit about how do you decide? So you're an academic, and all of a sudden you decide that you want to write screenplays and make movies. How did that happen? What is
Well,
your motivation?
I went to film school. I mean, my master's and my PhD are in journalism at the University of Texas at Austin, but my bachelor's film school. And so I've
Uh-huh.
always been there, right? Back in the mid 90s when Austin was starting to burgeon, Robert Rodriguez was coming out of Austin, Rick Linklater was coming out of Austin. I and some of my friends put together something called the Chicano Latino Film Forum, and we were
Mhm.
active at that time in the 1990s. And basically, we would bring filmmakers in front of audiences, show their work, and have a forum, have a discussion about their work. And we did it for
Wow.
like 6 years in Austin. So I've always had my hand in film, even though I went off and I was a journalist. I was a professional journalist for 20 years, 12 years as an NPR producer. And then, but I've always written, right? It's storytelling. It's a different kind of storytelling, but it's all storytelling. And
Hmm.
so I'm not I'm a much better storyteller now than I was way back when I went to film school, right? Just from the experience of it all.
Now tell me something. Let's jump in a little bit into this film. How do you come out with this idea? I mean, it's such a brilliant concept, you know.
One of the
I mean,
good things about being a college professor is you get to be around young people a lot. And this was about, I guess, 8 years ago, and I noticed some of the, as a filmmaker, as a writer, I like to eavesdrop and listen and quietly people watch. I do it all the time. I even got my wife into doing that now, that we people watch. And so I would hear students basically trying to deal with their issues and referencing um, pop culture. And that Kelly Willis song, What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger, was pretty much a big hit back in those days. And I remember thinking when I heard students trying to tell each other that, like as if that were wisdom, life wisdom. And I remember thinking, I don't think that's true. I know quite a few people, quite a number of people who were nearly killed and were never the same. And that kind of gave me the impetus to start the
Mhm.
idea. And so I started thinking about a story. What can we do? I knew I wanted somebody to be a good man, a good person, have this tragedy
Yeah,
before them,
that
and then
creates a very
as
powerful arc.
they get better physically, they actually get worse emotionally and personality wise. They get, the better he gets, the worse he becomes, or the worse he gets. And doing my research, I came across a lot of things. I came across, as a writer, to come across something like hypersexuality disorder, which is an actual thing, which people with traumatic brain injuries do experience. And that was like gold. And
Yeah,
for a
exactly.
writer, it's like, okay, we can take this somewhere, and it does. And even my wife, when she finished reading the final script, she looked at me and goes, "This is disturbing." It's
Yes,
it has some really disturbing things in it, and it's not for everyone, that's true. But it is a psychological thriller, and if it makes you uncomfortable, that's kind of the purpose of a
that is
psychological
the
thriller.
purpose, and it did a very good job of that, and it is a dark story, but that's what it is, and it's